Hey guys, welcome to Six's Overdrive. Unfortunately, last weekend I had a bad accident. I broke my Sony Z5. So now I've got the new Samsung S7 and Galaxy S7, and we're going to show you the goods and bads of this phone in real life situations. We're going to give you a review where a person actually uses this as a phone and as a Bluetooth device. So let's roll the music and we're going to get into it. Okay guys, welcome back. I'm going to pull up my little notes here because I've never done these tech reviews, or not very much of them. But I'm going to try to compare this to previous Android devices. This is the newest flagship model, what everybody's raving about. If you want to know all the tech features about this, I suggest you go to another channel. Because let's face it, I'm not the most techie guy in the world, but I do know what I'm talking about when a phone works or doesn't work. Because I have a lot of them, and I literally log 1,000 minutes a month on these bad boys. So let's get into this. Let's talk about this compared to the Apple iPhones, the 6S's, all the flagship models, and the other Androids. I've got a Sony Experia Z5, I've used the Z5. I've also used my other buddies' phones as well, LGs and everything else, trying to figure out which phones to get. So, first of all, let's get into this. This is not a cheap bargain brand phone. This just came out March 11th in Canada, and in Canada it's 900 Samolia. Yeah, it's expensive. It's iPhone expensive. The only difference is remember that this phone comes with 32 gig out of the bag, all right? This thing, a lot of these types of phones come with 16, and the iPhones, they all come with 16 gig iPhones. Remember, you need more memory than 16 gig with today's camera taking capabilities. You need more. So, let's get into how this works. I got it into 5 categories. We've got battery life, use of phone with the Bluetooth, we've got the camera, we've got the functionality and features, and screen brightness, outdoor utility. Okay, so let's get into the battery life. I started out with this phone, and let me tell you guys, I had a lot of apps and a lot of contacts and everything else to do. On day one, this phone was doing pretty darn good because I only got down to 5%. That's the worst I've ever got on this phone for doing things. I was playing games, I was downloading apps, I was taking pictures, I was doing it all. I was trying to figure out a new phone, and I got down to 5% in a full day. All right? Ever since then, I've had about 20 to 30% left by the end of the day. All right, so it's a great phone for battery life. It's right up there with all of them. Remember, if you're looking at a Galaxy S7 Edge, you're going to get a little bit extra battery life. You're also going to get a bit bigger of a phone. So if you got small hands, you might want this one. Okay, and remember too that getting text messages in the middle of my delivery here. Anyway, so guys, you're going to have that wraparound screen. That's not as durable for some people, but if you want the latest, greatest, you're going to go up to the Edge, which is in the $1,000 mark. This is in the $900 mark. Okay, next, we're going to use it as a phone. And when you use this thing as a phone, it's gorgeous. It fits properly over your ears. The Bluetooth is really good. One thing I will say is an Apple product is way better at Bluetooth. Android, you got to get your act together on this. Maybe there is a solution for it, but it's not readily available or not easy to find, because I've got 3 or 4 other friends that when they hook these things up to cars or to their helmet Bluetooths and all that, it doesn't listen to you when you're going through the Bluetooth system. You can press this little button here, hold it down and say, okay, Google or whatever. You can do stuff like that, but you're talking directly into the phone. That's not using your Bluetooth. That needs to be addressed, because that's a real pain. When you come from an Apple onto one of these, that's the first pain in the butt you're gonna miss, okay? So, Bluetooth, not as good as Apple, but still really good. Everything else works on it. It'll work in your car, it'll work with your GPS, it'll work with your, like I've got an LG G Watch R here. It'll work with all of that. Everything's great, okay? So don't worry about that. The camera is phenomenal, guys. This is the best camera out there as far as I can tell. I used to give that a word to the iPhones, because the iPhones, even though they were down in pixel count, took great photos, and Samsung was right behind them. But now with this new one where they dropped their pixel count but made the pixels larger, the low light photography in this thing is great. I'm going to put up some examples as we're talking here, but this is a great phone when it comes to taking pictures. The best I've ever had. I would compare it honestly very close to a DSLR or to like my Sony Alpha series. It's a great, great, great phone for taking pictures. Low light, video, 4K, whatever you want, does it good. My Sony and the other new Sonys, they heat up a bit when you're doing 4K. Not so much this baby. She just keeps working right along, and all the share features and everything come with that. So really good, really, really, really good camera. Functionality and features. The biggest thing for Samsung is the always on feature, and then you can do little things all the way through. Everybody's got their own little bonus things, but even like in these settings, I go to my settings menu, I can arrange the icons in the menu. Let me get out of there so it focuses on that. So you can arrange all that. You've got music things, you can put themes on it. I've got the music theme on here, so you can see little headphones in there. Another screen, so it'll be like guitars and everything else. It's really functional, it's great. You can double click into the camera from anywhere, even the lock screen. If I turn this off and I double click, and I'm ready to take a picture that fast. That's all in real time, no editing, guys. So this works great as a camera. Last, I'm going to tell you about the screen brightness, outdoors. When you're putting this on outdoors, that screen is gorgeous. Look at that. Woo, that is nice, right? Anyway, that's in the camera, but when you're reading anything, it works great. You can put it on a mount on your motorbikes or whatever you want to do. It's a very, very bright screen. Okay, even that little always on thing, you can read that in broad daylight. It's the brightest screen I've ever had, bar none. Doesn't matter if you're looking at Apples, Androids, whatever you're doing. I would say I'm going to put my reputation on the line as of this date, early April in 2016. This is the brightest phone to date. This is a cool phone, guys. Don't forget also, it's waterproof. You can go diving with this phone, as long as you leave it in the boat and then go swimming. It's good for if you drop it in the toilet. Okay, it's also got the dust. It's got the impact resistance on it. It's got a good hard Gorilla Glass to it. It should be as durable as anything out there. Front and rear cameras both work equally well for you selfie aficionados. This is a good phone. I really like it. I would say one of the couple of the bad things is if you're really into listening to your music on the phone, in other words, without headphones or with a Bluetooth speaker, it only has the speaker in the bottom of the phone, really. All the sound comes out of there, and it's not as nice as like my Sony had both two speakers, and a lot of them have the speakers on the front. That's a nicer sound for that, but let's face it, that's a crappy sound anyway. That sounds like a tin box, just a little, it's more annoying than good. I can't listen to stuff like that. I gotta have headphones or put it through the car stereo or whatever. I never use the speakers in this except for speakerphone. That's another thing, guys, the speakerphone works in this. Some of these others, other people can't hear you when you're talking. It's always good to hear this. This phone is very receptive. Other people can hear me well. I can hear them well. It's a good phone. So if you're looking for a great bargain, guys, this is the non-tech review of the Samsung Galaxy S7. I'm going to tell you right now, battery life, your use as a phone is really good. Bluetooth is a little bit of a weakness. The camera is exceptional. The functionality and features are right up there with everybody, if not beating everybody. And the screen brightness and outdoor utility is fantastic. You can see it wherever you want. So it's a very good phone. There are phones that are cheaper. They won't be quite as good as this one. This one, I think right now, is the one to get. And I'm not just speaking with my dollar. Anyway, guys, remember to share, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see things about motorcycle. And maybe the odd tech review, guys. You tech people out there, you might not want to subscribe because this isn't always what I do. But I will give you an honest opinion about everything. So remember to share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Six's Overdrive, and I'm saying bye-bye.